This fire swell. Oh man, do I love burning things. Too bad my parents put away all the gasoline.
Well, hey, if it isn't Little Billy.
Who are you?
Well, hi, Little Billy. I'm a scientist.
Oh yeah? What are you a scientist of?
I'm a scientist of biology. Honey, this is a form of a reoxidation reaction.
A what?
A reoxidation reaction. It's a very important chemical reaction that powers most of life's reactions. Say, why don't you bring you and your friend Jimmy back to the lab and I'll explain how it works. All right, Billy, why don't you come on in?
Wow, this is quite the laboratory you got here.
Ah, yes, only the finest when it's courtesy of the United States government. In fact, that telephone has a direct line to Moscow. Oh no, don't touch that, Billy.
Oh, why not?
You might set off a nuclear missile. Just kidding, Billy.
Oh, you scared me.
Now, Billy, the things that you're gonna learn today are top secret. If the Soviet Union were ever to find out about it, we might be facing worldwide crisis.
Oh, good. My lips are sealed, Mr.
Lynch.
Oh, Mr. Lynch. Mr. Lynch, what does all this have to do with fire?
Well, fire is a form of a redox reaction. Now, redox stands for oxidized, reduced. Oxidized is when a substance loses electrons, and reduced is when those electrons are added onto the substance. Now, they happen simultaneously. Now, when you were burning the fire, you see what was happening was that the log, which is a carbon-based substance, was losing electrons, and then the molecules in the air were gaining those electrons. The log was being oxidized, and the air was being reduced.
So where does all the flame come from?
Well, the flame is the energy of the reaction being released as heat and light.
Oh, that's cool. But that seems really complicated.
Well, Billy, it's actually not that complicated. In fact, I've thought of an easy way for you to remember it. Now, remember, when Leo the lion sees a communist, he says grr. Now, Leo loses electrons oxidized. Grr gains electrons reduced.
So when Leo the lion sees a commie, he goes grr. Leo loses electrons oxidized. Grr gains electrons reduced. That's amazing.
I know, Billy. Now, are you ready to see how this redox reaction equates to life?
Jeepers, more than anything.
Now, are you familiar with cellular respiration?
Well, gee willikers, Mr. Lynch. When I was in school, that was my favorite subject.
Were you aware that cellular respiration is actually a redox reaction?
No, I wasn't.
Well, if you come with me to my chalkboard, I'll explain.
Alrighty.
Sounds good. Now, Billy, you said that your favorite subject in school was cellular respiration, so then you'll know that glucose and O2 are used to create CO2, H2O, and ATP in the body.
Yeah, but what does this have to do with a redox reaction?
Well, as you'll see here, the glucose molecule will lose H plus atoms as the result is oxidized, and the O2 will gain H plus atoms to become H2O and is therefore reduced.
Wow. So how does this create energy?
Well, in this reaction, ADP will become ATP because of the extra electrons, therefore creating energy in your body.
Wow, Mr. Lynch. That's really something. Thanks.
No problem, Billy. Just don't tell the communists.
You can trust a true patriot like me.